Ho, 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 ho. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. The OGGM is coming to town. Coffee. What's up, Thursday nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, still alive. Broadcasting from Ventura, California at 8:32 in the morning on the 21st day of December. And just to let you know where things stand, the OGGM is currently not only under a flash flood warning, but for the first time in my life, I am under a tornado warning. Ventura, California is under a tornado warning. I am both terrified and excited. I mean, whoever knew? I mean, on my weather bingo card of things I've always wanted to be experienced, but never thought I would, tornado warning. But no matter how bad it gets, I will still be doing this because I love talking to you guys and I love the shit you guys say about me behind my back. It's Thursday, which means it's time for Daggerheart Beats. Ba-dam, ba-dam, ba-dam. Once again, where I give Daggerheart Critical Role way more free press than they probably need. And then in return, they don't give me anything. Support me, Critical Role. I mean, come on. I talk to you about your shit more than anybody else at this point in time. Where do things stand in the non-stop conspiracy world of Critical Role? Well, let's check the numbers this week and see how they're doing. Heading on over to the land of Twitch, we can see that the land of Twitch is very weird looking today. What's all this? Okay, let's see. All right. Campaign 3, episode 80 had 200K views. That's about average for them. Campaign 3, episode 80 rebroadcast had 65.2K views. Okay. Campaign 3, episode 80, second rebroadcast had 127K views. So rather than give us any original content, they just kept repeating something that they already did. Now, I know Laura's working on a new video game, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Head on over to the YouTube. Let's see. Mitts Blood Ties Season 2, Episode 16, 21K views. And Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 80, 270K views. So, yeah, Christmas week, pretty average. Heading on over to Daggerheart and the Darington Press website. Any new news on Daggerheart? No, of course not. We have found out, though, there's going to be an official Critical Role Exquisite Exandria Cookbook with recipes from Liz Marsham, Jessie Schwartz, Susan View, Amanda Yee, Quinion Tran, and Sam Riegel. Now, I don't know if anybody from the cast actually made or contributed recipes, or if they're going to do an example, of them making the recipes. But they have their own official cookbook, merchandising, where the real money is. Are they spreading themselves too thin, I guess, is the big comment again this week. And this comes off last week and all the hate that Candella Obscura has got. In fact, I even got called out for saying I hated Candella Obscura. So let me just remind you, at no point in time did I say Candella Obscura was something I absolutely hated. I do not hate the idea of Candella Obscura. I do not hate the show. I do not hate them for trying it. I just think it was a mistake. I don't think that was their target audience. I don't think the way they presented it was good. And the game itself, well, that's a whole other kettle of fish. But as for the accusations that I said I hated Candella Obscura, no, I don't hate it. I just think it was a waste of money, time, energy, and I think they were spreading themselves too thin, and there was probably a better way to do it. And instead of spending the entire year pushing Candella Obscura, they probably should have focused either on Illuminated Worlds, the core rule set that Candella Obscura is made on, or pushed Daggerheart more, because right now Daggerheart seems almost kind of like And the last influx of Daggerheart information we got left everybody scratching their head and complaining about the automatic damage nonsense, which is the topic of a whole separate video. But yeah, so that got a lot of Daggerheart hate. How dare you change the rules and make my guy automatic hit? I like the idea of spending 20 minutes in combat not doing anything. And I think it's a nothing burger at this point, just like the AI art thing. Just like I think people are looking for reasons to hate on Critical Role and Daggerheart, Luminary World. So nobody said that they hated Candella Obscura. At least I never said it. My opinion for Candella Obscura today has not changed from when they first announced it. I think it was a mistake. I don't think that's your target audience. I think you're spreading yourself too thin. I think there was a better way to present that as one of the source books for the Illuminated Worlds core rulebook, and you missed it. And it's obvious by the numbers that it wasn't your target audience. You know, there's just no interest. It's a niche within a niche within a niche, and it's not a niche that the Critical Role target audience is really interested in. There are other things Critical Role could have done with Illuminated Worlds that probably would have received better than Candella Obscura. And the fact that Candella Obscura went to press, which basically is a barely scratched off the surface copy and paste of Powered by the Apocalypse and Blades in the Dark, and you know, people are looking at this game and going, this doesn't seem finished, and having a lot of issues with the philosophy behind it, and just the mechanics in general, and just the fact that it sort of feels like they just wasted a lot of time and effort. And that brings us to the end of the year, Christmas. All we want for Christmas is Daggerheart. It doesn't look like we're getting it. Nobody really knows what's going on with it. It's still being play tested. We know it was at PAX. We know Bob World Builder got to play it, and Professor Dungeon Master got to play it. They didn't have anything awful to say about it, but like everybody else, the general reviews are the same, in that it feels unfinished. The mechanics don't really work. The preachiness is an issue. There's just a lot of problems with it, and it just feels like Critical Role spreading themselves too thin. Now, which leaves the question, is Daggerheart still the most anticipated tabletop role-playing game of 2024 that isn't D&D? And I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. The latest bit of, well, this game's going to suck because of the automatic damage rule is not helping it. The Candella Obscura reviews are not helping it. And just the fact that it doesn't feel like they're doing much with it isn't helping it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the most anticipated. I don't know if it's going to be the 5e killer that everybody thought it was going to be. I don't think so. I mean, they could still surprise us. They would have to start pushing the F out of it right now and really show a directed focus of creative energy on bringing Daggerheart to the table as a legitimate contender to the 5e crowd, as a gaming license that the critters can get behind and follow them with, and take the energy that the critters invest in, you know, the D&D world and the Sparkle Troll world, or the whatever else you want to call them, the cancel critters or whatever else, all that energy, and take it to Daggerheart, because it would be healthy for Critical Role, and it would be healthy for Wizards of the Coast. There's no losers in Dagger of the Heart if a Daggerheart actually ever sees press. And this is why. Okay, so why would Daggerheart be healthy for Wizards of the Coast? Because hypothetically, if the hundreds of thousands of individuals that are Critical Role fans took that energy away from D&D towards Daggerheart, there would be a huge sudden emptiness in the 5e fan base and in the 5e controversy base. And Wizards of the Coast would then have to address the fact that for the past couple years, they've been targeting Dungeons and Dragons towards an audience that doesn't in fact exist, which would maybe make them rethink the direction they want to take 5e and D&D in 2024 and in 2025, especially after Hasbro has made it very clear with the number of D&D staff members that got fired that they don't feel Wizards of the Coast is doing what they want them to do. And of course, it'd be healthy for the critters and for Critical Role because they would have a game system by them, dedicated to them, that embraces everything the critters actually want. And Critical Role and Darington Press would have complete control over the IP and everything associated with the IP and wouldn't have to deal with any Wizards of the Coast legal mumbo jumbo. So focusing on Daggerheart and bringing Daggerheart to press by the end of Q1 2024 would be the best bet right now. If they double down and continue to focus on Candella Obscura without giving us something else from Illuminated Worlds, well, that I think would be a mistake. Again, I don't think the fan base is there. It's not, I don't hate the idea of Candella Obscura. I just don't think it was necessary. I think, the fan base wasn't there. I think you're spreading yourself too thin. I think there was better ways to present Illuminated Worlds and that to the audience than what you did. The finished product, of course, has a lot of issues with it, both mechanically and philosophically. And that's been gone over hundreds of thousands of times. There's no reason for me to go over it again. I think generally Candella Obscura is going to end up as a failure for them. And just another example of spreading yourself too thin. Pick one thing and focus on it. But yeah, no actual news on Critical Role, Darington Press, Daggerheart today. So I guess the only news is it's cold and rainy and I'm under a flash flood / tornado warning. Merry Christmas to you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy. It is the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature is stirring, not even Steve the cat. So I'll talk to y'all later. Now get off my land and support me, Critical Role.